potential tenants from January 1, 2022. Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation and Rockshore International to begin bauxite mining in the Ashanti region. Ghana National Gas Company to shut double gas processing plant on Monday, October 4 for maintenance. And about 500,000 people affected by flash floods in South Sudan. Hello, good evening. Welcome to News Hour live on GBC News, your news and governance channel. My name is Shantaka. We are also live on GTV and streaming on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. You must welcome. From January 1, 2022, Ghana's Rent Control Department will enforce determination of rent for potential tenants against determinations made by homeowners. This was the message at the department's first ever news conference in Accra.
Assessments and recoverable rent and rent increase are important and major functions of the department under Part 4, Sections 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 18 of the Rent Act 1963, Act 220. The Public Relations Officer, Mr. Emmanuel Kposu, asked landlords, apartments and private hostel operators not to demand more than 6 months rent advance from tenants or face the full rigors of the law.
Rent here is something that has been assessed by a rent officer, the magistrate or the minister. So you cannot sit in your premises and determine any rent you like without notifying the rent control department or the rent magistrate.
The department also cautioned property owners to stop taking rent advance in foreign currencies, especially in dollars. This year alone, Rent Control has carried out 333 educational programs through media sensitization to explain its mandate to Ghanaians. They are calling on Ghanaians to report landlords who flout the rent law to the department for appropriate action to be taken. Mr. Kposu, however, urged tenants to be responsible at all times and to stop being a nuisance with immoral and criminal activities in their rented apartments. He also warned that there is no free rent for tenants, as some believe is an obligation of the landlord to give tenants 3 months grace period after rent date expires. The department has 58 offices across the country except the northeast and the Savannah regions, whose offices are almost ready to open to the public. The department says it has seen a lot of progress in its operation since 2019 and has touted it as its greatest achievement ever. From January 2016 till the first half of 2021, 112,603 rent cases were lodged to the department, out of which 86,453 were settled, representing 76.78%, and 4,864 cases, representing 4.32%, have been referred to rent magistrates for consideration.
The Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation and its partner, Rockshore International Company, will soon commence work on the Papaso bauxite mine in the Ashanti region. Senior officials of the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation were at the Menchia Palace to announce plans for the commencement of work to the Asantehene Otumfuo Setutu. The Asantehene was optimistic the bauxite will not just be mined, but will also have a refinery to process the mineral resource locally for better economic value.
For many years, the chiefs and people of Nyinahin and adjoining communities have been waiting for operations to start on the Nyinahin bauxite mine. Operations at the site will also create direct and indirect jobs for the people and hopefully improve on infrastructural development in the area. Last month, government announced that Rockshore International, a wholly Ghanaian-owned firm with a track record in mining and engineering, as a strategic partner to the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation to explore and determine the actual quantum of bauxite deposits within the Pasaso area located within the Echimampunua municipality of the Ashanti region. The visit by the joint delegation to the Malaysia Palace was to announce to Asantehene of their intended plans for the mining site. Otumfuo said to express confidence in the capacities of the joint team to develop the Jinahin Mpasaso bauxite deposit site into a viable economic operation to boost Ghana's fortunes.
Na social responsibilities said they must see a homa be a man and unmanning grassifon and also a kama. Piboni a baba said the bay jumadia, the say a feni kufiti as a general baby. Fe no more more. Ye can you bauxite and a crowd do a warranty as you could you. Can if you move there, it is a quite by home. To your barn as a quine, was a quarry no more this kind of your mind. They say the empire born in a boy, he say you will be obey my hand. Empire born was a bomber, you money a year, my in. When I move a such a nipper wound, I say, a chef for my yin to yen, home. Yen nay, yen will be a wool between Nenru baby and you could dance for Webra. Yen Mompire said the bay of Jumadine Bay, ye na fair ye nay, ye two umpire. What their home so they not soon will be asked to be not will be asked.
The Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development, Mr. Kwesi Oseje, described the Asantehene's endorsement of the project as a step in the right direction to fully tap into the economic prospects of bauxite deposits.
We've been selected to partner GIADEC to develop the resource, part of the Ninahin resources. So to start with, there are a number of things that you do in any mining project. First is to carry out mineral resource estimates. So we'll estimate the quality and the quantity of bauxite that we have in the area that's been assigned to Rockshore International. That's the joint venture between Rockshore and GIADEC. And once we have done that, then the next thing is for us to put together the arrangements for the joint venture company that will seek the mining lease for us to put together the whole program. So not just mining, but mining and refinery, to be able to go to Parliament or to any other authority that will require permission from to be able to execute the work.
Research shows that bauxite mining at Ninahin could last for over 150 to 300 years and is estimated at $45 billion.
The Ghana National Gas Company has scheduled a planned maintenance shutdown of their Tuabo gas processing plant starting Monday, October 4. A statement from the Corporate Communications Office says the scheduled temporary shutdown will last between October 4 to October 18, 2021. The shutdown will allow a team of engineers to undertake a routine maintenance of their Tuabo plant to improve its capacity of continuous activity and prolong its lifespan. The statement said the outage was consistent with other shutdowns planned by its upstream and downstream partners. All key stakeholders, including Ghana Gas, Tullow Oil, ENI, and Volta River Authority and NLE, have put in place the necessary mechanisms to reduce the shutdown duration from 48 hours to 14. From 48 days to 14 days. Managers of the plant assured all stakeholders that the team would be working with partners to ensure system stability during shutdown period and minimize the impact on power supply. The Wasa Association of Communities Affected by Mining have called on more dialogue with host communities in new mining operations as well as areas that would be affected by onshore oil production. The Associate Executive Director of WACAM, Mrs. Hannah Owusu-Kranting, said the country has over the years disregarded the free, prior and informed consent principle, making it difficult for their concerns to be addressed. She made the appeal at a responsible mining forum on promoting community participation in mineral resource exploitation in Accra.
And so they have a special place in all the discussions that we're having, that they have information to make informed decisions based on the free, prior and informed consent. Again, we have situations where mining companies, after polluting the environment, externalize the cost to the state. And we are not able to really assess the cost of environmental pollution in the country. A time has come when we should use the polluter pays principle in conjunction with the free, prior, informed consent to get companies to be accountable to the state and the community people to ensure that when they leave the country, they are not going to leave it in the mess that we find ourselves in. And that at the end of the day, the state will not have to go and borrow or receive grants that would have been used for education to restore the environment because mining has destroyed the environment. These are things that are happening in the country. And I think that is good money that would have gone into the development of the human being, by being channeled into cleaning the mess of industries that made profit at the expense of the state. And we're going to borrow to clean their mess. And that is not right. That is not justice.
A 2-day capacity training program for staff of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation is underway in Accra. Participants from across the operational regions of the corporation will be introduced to new ways of reporting through modern technologies.
The capacity enhancement sessions will expose the participants on how to handle emerging demands related to their field of work, especially with the advent of new technologies in news reporting. The Deputy Director of Television, Mr. George Lomoti, says that training will make the reporters more effective and efficient on the job.
Technology helps us in the way we do things. So clearly at the moment we are taking advantage of everything available to us to make it easier for our news reporters to be effective and more efficient on the job.
The Western Regional Director of GBC, Mr. Alfred Hughes, commended the management of GBC for bringing staff up to speed on new ways of doing their work. He described the training program as timely, especially for those who report from the regions.
Very timely, and potential is going to be beneficial to the regions in terms of building synergy. We know as GBC and working as a team, we need to synergize so that at least our stories as a public service broadcasting corporation would find some kind of productivity, and we see how we can serve our clientele, which is the people of Ghana, in a more productive, beneficial and public service oriented way.
The capacity building program, according to the Director General of GBC, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, remains one of the key priorities of the management of GBC because it is fundamental to achieving the objectives of the state broadcaster.
The Ejura Traditional Council has expressed satisfaction with the recommendations of the 3-member committee set up by the government to investigate recent disturbances that led to recent deaths at Ejura in the Ashanti region. The Traditional Council, however, urged the government to speed up implementation of the recommendations in furtherance of ensuring peace in the municipality. Ejura Hene Berima Osei Hwedie conveyed this sentiment when he addressed a grand deba at Ejura to climax this year's Yam Festival.
If we can say edu baby na ekumba baby aye ntokwa baby aye denti na aye ntokwa no ba mpanyimfo be pata ntokwa na abusa se ntokwa na aye den nti ukyekire mu no na mpanyimfo afamu aba nti recommendation committee no edi aba ne de Berima Osei Hwedie a mitosumenu edwane me mpanyimfo na adwuraman recommendation nyina yegitum ya catch aban se the white paper na enya ntam wo so na daroma na implementation bi a wo so bia no yentu hu anamo ententen na ni kene ya na yentimi mfanya adwuma na adwura emfa ne ntema papa no emfira.
The National House of Chiefs has pledged to support government's fight against the upsurge of crime in the country. The president of the National House of Chiefs, Ojiahoho Yao, at a meeting in Kumasi, urged the IGP to be resolute in the fight against all forms of crime and also entreated financial institutions to adhere to directives by the IGP to use appropriate bullion vans to transact business.
Top on the agenda were recent attacks on the police, upsurge in robbery cases across the country, and the recent disturbances at Ejura, which led to the death of 2 persons, among other sensitive issues affecting the country. The president of the House, Ojiahoho Yao, commended the government for the appointment of MMDCEs and was hopeful those who will be approved will work diligently to improve on local government administration.
Nananum shall continue to provide our unflinching support to the security services to fish out the perpetrators of these heinous crimes to face the full rigors of the laws of Ghana. Nananum also advised MMDAs to move residents staying in low-lying areas in our cities and towns to save human life and property during flooding as a result of excessive rainfall.
The House of Chiefs also made a passionate appeal for support in the completion of its Esunia building at Mampong, valued at the cost of 2 million Ghana cedi. The Omahini of Drobo and the Vice President of the Bono Regional House of Chiefs, Okotra Adom Akusechi, was worried about the recent upsurge of daylight robberies as well as abductions and murder of children, especially in the region. He called for maximum security in the area to help reduce all forms of crime.
In the month of October, GBC News is offering its news platform to you, our viewers, to try your hands at citizen journalism. We've toured the country and brought you news reports from all spheres. Now, it's your turn to show us your prowess by telling us stories from your localities. You've seen us on the field. Now, pick up your tools and hit the trail with your cameras and capture the issues of concern around you. You can go all out, full measure, shaken together and running over. Send your videos to us on WhatsApp numbers 026 4000 996 or 026 4000 997. We will air your story in our news bulletins, giving you credit for your effort. Don't be left out of our October special. It's GBC News, your news and governance channel.
Now to today's citizen journalism slot. It comes from Nikwe Kote in Shiabu near Dansuman. He says some residents of Shiabu have resorted to open defecation along the beach following a partial breakdown of a major public place of convenience in the community. The owner of the facility says the situation is out of hand now and is therefore appealing to authorities and any charity to help refurbish it. He says this will prevent the residents from using the beach as a restroom.
Shiabu is a fishing community at Dansuman in Accra. Though there are a number of public places of convenience in the area, most of the residents use this particular KVIP, which sits right on the beach and privately owned by one of the residents, Mr. Joseph Nortenoi. However, for some weeks now, part of the KVIP, specifically the back of it, has collapsed from frequent pounding of the waves. According to Mr. Norte, even before the facility broke down, some residents were openly defecating on the Shiabu beach. Now the situation is much worse, as more residents prefer to use the open beach as their restroom with the excuse that the nearest KVIP does not function. With the partial breakdown of this KVIP and the increase in open defecation on the Shiabu beach, patrons of the beach have gradually stopped coming here for relaxation and exercise. They say the beach is no longer appealing as the stench and the sight of feces are unbearable. The owner, Mr. Joseph Nortenoy, says all efforts to stop this menace have not been successful. He and some concerned residents are therefore appealing to the authorities, non-governmental organizations and individuals to help renovate the KVIP on the Shabu beach. They say SDG Goal 6 requires access to adequate and equitable sanitation and hygiene for all and an end to open defecation.
You can also send us your video of a concern. We now bring you some of the past week's headlines in pictures. We'll be back shortly. Please do stay.